Offer people the opportunity for pain relief, right, and improve their quality of life.
Dr. Renee Ditke. She has a doctorate in natural health. She's been empowering people with her knowledge.
But before I was ever a doctor, I was a patient. And that's how all of
Hello and welcome to Natural Talk with Angel. Our guest today is Shannon Knight. Shannon is a speaker, an author, an advocate for women. She also has a life coaching practice, One Wildflower, as well as a nonprofit, Angels for Shannon. Shannon is on a mission to help and inspire other women who are touched by trauma and cancer. Shannon herself is a 2-time cancer survivor. She's also a stalking and rape survivor, not a victim. She is not a victim. She is a survivor. So thank you so much for being here with us today, Shannon. Welcome.
Thank you. Louie is a survivor too, 2-time cancer survivor, my dog. And he just went through a surgery having his cancer removed from his shoulder and his leg. And it's his 3-week anniversary. So I just kind of let him on my lap right now because he's my little, he was with me through both bouts of cancer. And so I'm just kind of hanging in there and being there for him.
Now you're going through it with him. That's awesome. That's
12
awesome.
Not that much longer. But thank you so much for that introduction. It was great. It's an honor, and I know that you have been trying. It was, as you know, my father just passed from his cancer battle, May 31st. So I just kind of took a break. I didn't feel like talking about cancer. I didn't feel like going live. It was a respect thing.
Yeah.
I had lost my uncle to cancer as well prior to that. My Aunt Dorothy to cancer just the April prior to that. And so it was, I hadn't shared all that with anybody online. And, it was about respect. Just kind of late.
I'm really sorry for all your loss, but I am very excited to have you here. And I have to tell y'all, she made my day the other day when she FaceTime called me.
I caught her in work in her uniform and everything.
Yes, she did. I had just backed onto a door. Most of you know I'm a truck driver, so I had just backed onto a door. So thank God she got me when I was, at a point that I was stopped. But made my night. And I was so excited to bring her here to talk to y'all and encourage and inspire you as well. Her story is so awesome. Shannon, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your mission?
Sure. I would like to start out with my 20 years of background working at Victoria's Secret, being surrounded by women, just loving to make them feel beautiful. And that will lead to, I became involved with some friends, hanging out at the baseball park, and ended up being stalked by a man that I went out with a few times. And actually it got worse and ended up a sexual assault victim as well by the same person, and another perpetrator partnered in that heinous crime. Had to, when he got out of prison, had to relocate, change my name, and start my life all over in the state of Washington in the year 2000. Me and my daughter. When we got there, we were there for 2 years without, no car. My engine blew up right when I got there. So small town, nobody that I knew, starting over with a new Social Security number, no background, no work references, no college transcripts, no personal references. So I looked like a woman that the way we would look at a woman that didn't have any roots and was mysterious. Who's that girl? Kind of like a loser. Who is she? And I would get turned down for job after job after job. It's very hard to find work. Finally got work, getting paid cash under the table because I didn't have my social security number yet from Baltimore. It's a long process to get your identification secure and started, but I needed to get money.
Right.
So this was a process of what I call the emotional trauma that starts happening where women are getting breast cancer. They've proven that the emotional trauma can trigger inflammation and cause the heartbreak, which is my second book, Unbreak Your Heart, how to heal a body by healing a broken heart. I go into that, the science, and just all of the women who I've interviewed and talked to, it always leads to disease. So this led up to breast cancer, I'm certain of it. Having to go through missing my family and all of my friends and starting my life over and nobody knowing me. I had a twin sister, had a big family.
Wow. That must have really been hard. I mean, it's hard with your entire family, but a twin, because I'm told that there's such a connection. So that must have really been rough.
Also embarrassing. We take our friends. I have a lot of friends. Look at me now. I'm very social. So it took years to build that as a child all the way up. And I had 4 siblings and we were well known in my town, and to just vanish and move somewhere, small little town, Port Orchard, literally like the movie Twilight. It was that small of a town.
Wow.
And to not know anybody and just be that strange girl.
Yeah,
it's hard.
That must have been really hard.
And it rained all the time and it was gloomy.
Oh my goodness.
Nothing like California. The people that are my friends now, it's really neat. They're from both worlds. There's Jennifer DeConte and there's Shannon Knight. There's the ones that knew me with the stalker and everything else, and then the ones that knew me with the cancer and, oh my gosh, that woman is amazing. She beat cancer without chemo. So the 2 women, they're kind of merging, and the book that I'm writing is literally about those 2 coming together.
Wow, that is awesome. I'm really sorry for all the things that you've gone through in your life, but I have to say that it really has kind of helped shape you into who you are today. I mean, you're this strong, vibrant, social butterfly. You've got all these amazing opportunities, but most importantly, you're in a position now that you are touching so many lives. I think that's awesome.
I am grateful for it. I'm in my 8-year anniversary this month of being completely cancer-free.
Yay! Woo!
Right? October is my anniversary, and I use the word cured. I've never used the word remission. And I think that our mind has so much to do with staying healthy and staying healed. Many women that I speak to kind of stutter and go, well, what if it comes back? What if it comes back? So what? We get the
before I beat it again.
How many people have gotten the flu every year?
Right.
So you get the flu, it goes away, it comes back, you get the flu. Oh my God, I got the flu. You're not in remission. The flu is the flu, strep throat is strep throat, tonsillitis is tonsillitis. So what?
So tell us then about, you found out that you had cancer, and what happened from there the first time that you got cancer?
I want to address the first time I felt the lump. So this whole Breast Cancer Awareness Month really ticks me off. Early detection. Early detection, I did find the lump early in 2005. I did go to the doctor. I did show the doctor. I said, can we get it tested? He goes, well, you've got cystic breasts. Cystic breasts are very common. So he wouldn't test it. So a whole year, I left into the parking lot into my car feeling embarrassed because I'm shy. I didn't want to show him anything. And I did all that for nothing. So it made me feel discouraged to go in again when it got bigger for a whole year. This is not uncommon. So what is this early detection all about? Because a woman in her 30s or in her 20s is not going to be able to walk in and get a mammogram or something. How are you really? I want to know. And so when I start my radio show, I'm going to be asking these questions. What's it like for you ladies? I want to know. What is it like, this early detection? I just want to know. I'm curious.
Yeah. That's good though. That brings a good awareness, and maybe it will bring change, once enough people start going, yeah, wait a minute. You need to really change your practices and how early detection. Okay, well,
what's going on with that?
So what age group?
Yeah, I just want to know. And how are you doing it without squishing them? And what are you doing? Just want to know.
Wow.
Anyway, that was the beginning. So then it was the size of about an olive, a large green olive that you put in a martini. And by the time they biopsied it, they found the largest lump under my armpit. There was 3 on my breast and 1 under my armpit.
Wow.
Now I'm at stage 3. The early detection could have happened. So maybe the breast cancer awareness could be a little bit more towards the doctors.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't be so dismissive. Really take it, seriously.
And that is totally valid for me to say. If I went through it with one doctor, we need to know how many other doctors are doing that. They need to improve that with us women.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And now men, because men are getting it, because the estrogen and the hormones are all off balance with our food. Our food's been hijacked. And
I have a male cousin who passed away from breast cancer.
I'm sorry. Wow.
Yes. Men get this too. It's not just a female disease.
Yeah. So, and then things went scary fast. Immediately I went to University of Washington. So when you're at a university, they have a lot of interns and students coming in, practicing on you, giving you a diagnosis. It gets very frightening. And recording to practice what to say to someone when they're giving a diagnosis. So you're hearing it. You don't really know what's going on because I'm not in the medical field. I didn't understand. So I thought it was a bunch of doctors coming in, giving me different opinions. It's tangled. And so I just sit there all day, from morning till evening, letting them do their thing. It was very important when you're at a university for them to go through that with me. So I heard all these drug names. I was given a lot of envelopes to do studies, be part of a study, overwhelmed. And so I gave in to just the surgery. I let them do the bilateral mastectomy. And that was it. I went to a clinic in Arizona and did some therapies, IV, vitamin C. Go lay down. And some ultraviolet light, some things that were allowed in the United States, which you had to pay cash for. But the clinic's no longer there. They might have got shut down. There were a few that got shut down.
That's terrible. I hate to hear that they close places down that are actually helping people. I read about another doctor. I wanted to say he was from Texas, but he was having a lot of success with,
Is it Brzezinski?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And they really gave that man a lot of trouble, but he persevered. I will give him that, but he was having a lot of success, and I guess Big Pharma didn't like it.
He perseveres because he does give out chemo. As long as he makes the pharmaceutical companies happy, I really believe that he's going to survive and make it through. He's been around since the 70s, so he's got a balance that's working.
Yeah. Wow.
So he introduced new therapies, which is really good for the glioblastoma, brain cancer. Anytime someone contacts me and wants to go where I went for brain cancer, I go, you need to go to Dr. Brzezinski. He's the king of brain cancer.
Yeah, I read so many good things. I didn't know if he was still there or not. He is. Oh, that's good.
He is definitely the one. If anyone in my family had brain cancer, that's where I would want them to go to.
Wow.
But anything, breast cancer, and they were looking for alternative, I'd say go to Dr. Payan, especially if it was estrogen, progesterone positive, like me and my sister. It's the most common treated cancer at his hospital. But other than that, I don't really know. I would say get 3 opinions.
Right.
Find out, what they treat the most.
Wow. So you had this stage 3, you went to the university. You had the mastectomy, and then you went and you had treatment like IV vitamin C, that type of thing. For people who don't understand what that is about, what good was it to have these IVs? Because that's not something that's a normal practice in a regular cancer treatment.
Right. So Levy, look up, what is his name? David Levy? Just look up vitamin C and Levy. He's the one that, or Linus Pauling. He got 2 Nobel prizes for vitamin C, discovering it with cancer. There's a lot of conspiracy theories, but it doesn't matter. He's the one that discovered how it kills cancer. And then there's another story, a New Zealand farmer. You can look up a YouTube video. It was on 60 Minutes. And this gentleman that was in the hospital had hairy cell leukemia and swine flu together, and he was using vitamin C intravenously, and it was working on both.
Wow.
He had complete whiteout in his lungs. They said he was going to die, and they were going to pull the plug. This video is so extraordinary. This is in New Zealand, and he was a dairy farmer, and everyone should watch it. These are not conspiracy theories. I'm not a conspiracy theory. There are many of us alive. No, there's not 100% guarantee anywhere with any treatment. My thing is, I think that these treatments should all be available. We're a modern country. The United States of America should have these treatments available. They're not barbaric. They don't cause harsh side effects. In fact, women and men are using them to enhance their immune system, to rejuvenate and make their skin more youthful as an antioxidant, to make their hair more grow better. So it's anti-aging. So if someone goes through chemotherapy or burning or cutting, the most compassionate care that we could ever hope to have in the United States of America is to follow through when you cut them and you burn them and you poison them with drugs and say, all right, we're done with this, and we've made a lot of money off of you. It looks like are we still on? Okay, yeah, so we're done with these harsh, barbaric treatments. Thank you for cooperating. You're frozen.
Oh.
Okay. Are you still good?
Yes, I'm still here. We're still hearing you good.
Okay. Good. You froze. We're done with these barbaric treatments. Good for you for following my advice. You're a good patient. You did 6 rounds of chemo. You've done the 40 rounds of letting us burn that sucker. Good for you. I know your white count is off. I know you're weak. I know you've been vomiting. Don't worry, your hair's going to grow back. But guess what? We're a compassionate hospital, and we know that IV vitamins and minerals and some oxygen is going to help you. And we're going to restore your immune system. So we're going to send you to our specialists on the immune system, and they're going to take your blood work and they're going to monitor you. And Medicare covers this. And your burn, don't worry about it. We've got hyperbaric oxygen chambers, and they're going to monitor you, and we're going to help restore that burnt tissue. and we're gonna help regenerate that tissue. It works with gangrene. It works with burn victims. We're going to do that because we're America, and we are not barbarians.
Right. You would think anyway, but the reality is that that's not the case.
We need to be talking about this.
Yeah, I agree. Totally.
Because we're America.
I am, I get very angry.
No, I'm tired of people this is what I'm tired of. I'm tired of people making money off of videos, documentaries, books of how awful the pharmaceutical company is, how awful the government is, and they're not holding marches to create change. They're not writing petitions in their communities to cause change. For one thing, they are making money off of the hype, the propaganda, and the anger towards it, and pissing people off and saying that your doctor is trying to kill you, and making fear-mongering, fear appeal. They've been doing it for too long and not doing anything to create change. We ended slavery. We got women to vote. We need to change our health care.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to make a bunch of money off of everybody talking about it. And that's what I want to do.
Yeah. Amen. Oh my gosh. Yes. I'm with you on that.
I don't know what it's going to take, but screaming about it isn't causing change.
No, not at all. So tell us a little bit. I know we went into the stage 3. We know that it came back, and you had stage 4 this time. And this time you actually ended up in Mexico. And your friends had set up a nonprofit for you to be able to go to Mexico. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, actually, this is really good because it talks about the 5 stages of the things that can go wrong, right? You know, the 5 stages of cancer grief. If you're stage 4, you're fighting for your life. One of them is denial, and denial looks different. It's not saying you don't have cancer. You're scared. So one of them could be like what I talked about earlier. The girl that is eating all of the healthy foods, she's got control over something. She's got control over this small area that's keeping her in a familiar environment in her home. So I'm in bed. My girlfriends are raising money for me with Angels for Shannon. That's how that got started, to raise money to get me to CMN Hospital. And they finally raised the money to get me to go in February, but my birthday's in February, and I decide, oh, no. I don't want to go to CMN Hospital in February. This is in January when they finally raised the money. I don't want the memory of me in Mexico fighting for my life related to my birthday. No. So they let me have that one. Okay. We'll give you that. My best friend, Heather, said that. She's tough. And you know what? If you've got someone tough in your life that's a friend that's willing to be honest with you and give it to you straight, you're blessed, you're lucky to have an honest friend like that instead of a people pleaser that's always trying to just say the right thing to you, because you could die.
Right.
While they're trying to please you, and you've got stage 4. That passes. Now we're at, the next day, February 5th. And she says, all right, you ready to go? I go, no, I want to go after Valentine's Day. I'm planning it like a vacation. My life is on the line. And she finally says, fine, we're going to have that fundraiser on Valentine's Day. And we're just going to change the name. It's not going to be Angels for Shannon. It's going to be Angels for whoever the heck wants to fight for their life now. Because obviously you don't. And you don't realize the seriousness of it. And so she just kind of, I call it jackhammering your feet out of concrete.
Right.
And they catch you when you fall, and they just kind of carry you. You're too tired to fight anymore. And they put you on the stretcher and they carry you over the battlefield. You're just wiped out and tired. And you need someone to carry you through.
Wow.
And got to the hospital. And once I was there, you know what? Sometimes you're going to be afraid the whole way through. You are afraid and you've got courage at the same time. Just because you're afraid doesn't mean you're not doing the right thing. Sometimes the fear doesn't go away for a while.
Yeah, you just got to do it afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The greatest
things in life is do it afraid.
The greatest things have come out of the scariest times for me.
And for most people, if we're really honest, for most of us, it is. We just don't want to have to go through the hard part to get to the good. But that's most of the time, to appreciate the good, we have to go through the bad. But so now you've got this nonprofit. They've raised the money through the nonprofit, got you there, got you well, got you cured. And now you've kept that fund, that nonprofit open. And so what do y'all do with that now?
The nonprofit doesn't raise any money. What it does is it teaches you how to do what we did. So it gives you fundraising ideas. It teaches you how to have a win-win in your community. So if I raise money to give money, it's impossible. I'll be wiped out. There's no, everybody would writing me. I can't do that. Look at what happened to Susan G. Komen. Nobody's got money. How could you see where that would go? And what the government would do. But I can teach you how to turn your community into businesses with a heart. So you've got to show your businesses in your town how to want to give you money. In other words, holding one huge event is a much better idea than going on and asking everybody to give you money that doesn't know you on Facebook. I've seen it fail over and over again. Unless you're a public figure and everybody knows you and loves you online and you've already built a following, that's a different scenario. Right. The other thing too is many people need to understand when you do something like that and you're just asking for money from strangers, your sickness and asking for money, the reality is I could do it. You see my house. I could sell something. Many people are asking for money that have stuff to sell, that have a 401k, that have IRAs, that have money saved, and they feel, and this is their reality and their belief, and they don't know that there's anything wrong with this, by the way. I can't even judge them because it's their perspective. They believe that it's totally okay to ask for $25 from everybody to get help for their cancer treatment so that they don't have to touch their kids' college fund, their vacation money, their retirement. But what they don't understand is that I don't appreciate that. Because there are people out there giving their last $25 of their savings because their bleeding heart feels that they don't have any money. So I talk about that. Like, I don't give out money. People ask me for money. I don't give out money because I can't see your finances. I don't know who you are. I do not donate to those organizations. I will give you advice on how to go to your community and hold a big fundraiser where they know you. They know your house size. They know your cars. They know you. But if you do have money, but you need help and support, it's better to have a family meeting and get together and everybody pitch in with credit cards. Like where I went, they take credit cards. Financial creativeness, getting together and pitching in to help a family member. Everybody just pitch in to ease the burden financially. Right. Understand that anybody can start up a GoFundMe. So you can have some fun activities, movie night, a masquerade ball, a fancy dinner where everybody's having fun and pitching in and you don't look like you're begging. So go to Angels for Shannon and look at all those unique ideas. There isn't anything wrong with asking for money, but do understand that there are people out there that absolutely have no money, and we see those fundraisers, and then we see someone that's also on Facebook showing that they're in Italy having fun, and all of their other excursions. And people are not donating because they're going, what are they asking money for when they're out doing this?
Right. Right. Wow. Well, I think that's awesome that you do have that, and that you teach. I mean, that's a biblical principle. Teach a man to fish and he'll eat for a lifetime if you give him
Yes.
a fish, you know. And you could do, you know, a fundraiser, you know, if you did that and you offered a fundraiser, okay, we've raised the money, here, go get your treatment. Well, that's not a guarantee that that's going to be enough for the long run, because you don't know what other medical expenses are going to come up and what they're going to go through. So there may need to be another fundraiser or another, but that's something that, like you mentioned, you're one person. You can't do all of that. So I
Okay.
love that you.
I don't want to. I don't want to.
I don't blame you. I wouldn't want that either.
I don't want to. There's a lot involved in that because you have to go through an approval process. You have to ask their financials. You're getting into their business. That makes me an accountant. I don't want a board of directors to answer. No, I would rather teach them, and then they do their own banking and they do it within their community. And they
Right.
need to.
That
Crowdfunding isn't a write-off.
I love that you teach. I love that you teach them how to do that. So that's awesome. So that was angelsforshannon.com, right?
Mm-hmm. And if
Angelsforshannon.com.
anyone goes to shannonknight.com, everything is on there.
Okay.
Everything. What hospital did she go to? It's on there. Where are all her interviews? It's on there. What's her YouTube channel? It's on there. What's her life coaching program? It's on there. Everything. Where's her books? It's on there.
Awesome. Awesome. That's great. So that's shannonknight.com.
Mm-hmm.
That I will also post that on Facebook. It'll be above the video. On YouTube, it will be below. But
Yeah.
we will have that on there as well. I'm writing it down right here. And then also, you have some very exciting things coming up for you here in the future. I am super excited for you. She kind of gave me the lowdown the other day, and I felt so special.
I'm excited.
She is getting ready to have her own radio show. How cool is that?
It's really exciting, and it's not a blog radio show. It's FM radio.
FM, that is so awesome. Surviving and Thriving with Shannon Knight. That's going to be on every Monday night, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. So we get it here on the East Coast. Woo!
But you also get to listen, and I'm going to record them. So there's going to be the replays, but you also get to listen on WMAPradio.com. And that's going to be Casey Armstrong's radio station. That's going 24 hours.
That's awesome. I'm so excited for you. She's going to be taking people's calls and getting all your inspiring stories.
I'll have a website, a Facebook page too, so they can send in their stories. I'll have topics of what's coming up. So if they feel like they've got something to contribute, if I'm talking about, like we were talking about radiation, what would be a great alternative afterwards that would be great healthcare in our country?
Oh, I think that's awesome.
It's going to be honest news to really try to make change happen in our country. Diplomatic, with compassion and care for our people.
I think it's awesome. And again, it's getting it out there to the masses. And what better platform than FM radio?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Traumatic stress, our veterans, they need it more than ever before. They need the hyperbaric oxygen therapy helps them with the healing the brain. It's been proven. It's all over. The studies are everywhere. So it's not just helping with cancer. It's not just helping with burns. It's helping post-traumatic stress. They have proven that cancer patients are dealing with post-traumatic stress at a high level. And so are our veterans. We need this. It needs to be covered under our insurance with TRICARE, with Medicare. with every healthcare.
Absolutely. And y'all, that show starts January 6th. So in 2020, brand new year, brand new show, brand new opportunity.
Yes.
And it'll be every Monday at 7:30. And we'll also put that link, again, either above or below, depending on which platform you're watching this on. So that is so awesome.
Yeah, put my page there. I'll have a page. We've got my personal, but I've got my page that can just accept over 5,000.
Okay, excellent.
You know, my regular Shannon Knight page has hardly any men left on it. It's just all women because I have kicking people off and putting people on, and most of my following is women. But the other one is going to be mixed.
Now, I wanted to ask you too about your life coaching, the One Wildflower. I love that title, by the way. Awesome title.
Yeah, it's got a good meaning behind it. You know, that was my very first email, onewildflower@aol.com.
Nice. Nice. Well, I wanted to ask you to let these women know what it is that you do through that and how you can help them.
One Wildflower Life Coaching it's an initiative for women who have been through adversity in their life, broken in some way. It could be from childhood abuse. It could be bullying as a kid in school, something that's unresolved. It could be a divorce. It could be loss, death, loss, a sibling, a loved one. We get this adversity in our life, and some of it sticks with us, and we take it on as our new identity, and we feel a heaviness and a brokenness. But what many women don't realize is that when we do that, it kicks out cortisol, the stress, the anxiety, the panic attacks, the sleepless nights, insomnia. It builds up and builds up. And as we get older, we get more layers added onto that. And it just manifests and manifests. And some of it gets buried. And the next thing you know, we're having disease. Well, One Wildflower Life Coaching is for women who know that they have pushed through so much, the dirt. One Wildflower is for any woman who knows that she has pushed through unimaginable things that nobody thought she ever would. And that's how wildflowers grow. They grow through the mountainside, the desert, up through the concrete cracks. You find them everywhere, and they grow in the most unexpected places and ways. Well, I'm a certified life coach, but I have a unique program that addresses the emotional healing for any woman who feels there's so much more purpose in her life, and she knows that she didn't go through this adversity for nothing. She's discovered some new abilities, but she feels there's so much more for her out there, and she wants to tune into that more and know what to do with those tools that she's picked up. And I help women discover that and identify it and put it in a proper new perspective so that she can go out there and help other women and feel. When you have a new perspective, sometimes you can pick that up in a day, in an hour with me. And I help women feel that and how to tap into that when they're feeling down. So post-traumatic stress disorder is very common. You get tools with me on how to overcome those flashbacks, or there's those panic attacks that can happen when you're driving. So you'll get tools on what to do when that happens, how to pull over your car, open up the glove box, and actually be able to pull something out that will help you on the way to a doctor's appointment to get news that maybe you're not so excited about and you don't know what the outcome is.
That's awesome. And the website that you gave me, shannonknight.com, it's all on there where they can reach out to you, find out about you.
I am vamping up, changing the website for onewildflower.com, but it's onewildflower.com.
Okay. We're going to have multiple links on her.
And the coaching program is right on One Wildflower's Facebook, which is on my Facebook. You can click on it, and there's different programs. I do seminars. I do retreats for women. So any of you women that have women's groups, I love doing weekend retreats. So you can just look for the more that you sign up for, the better discount you get. And so no one ever just wants one session with me. They just get excited and want more.
I can see that. You've got a lot of good energy, a lot of positive energy. So, but thank you so much.
Consultation is free. It's a 30-minute free consultation with me.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. So ladies, you know where to go, because I know a lot of us out there I know I can use her.
You get tools. So tools are great. It's interactive. And it's face-to-face like this.
Yes. I like that. You know, y'all, when she called me on Facebook Messenger or live, or not live, but where we could talk face-to-face. And that's what she had told me. I hope you don't mind, but this is how I prefer to do it. And I had to crack up laughing because, you know, I've been wanting to hear from her. And so I was super excited when I seen it was her. And then for a split second, I went, I can't answer like this. I look like a guy. Had my ball cap on, you know, my uniform, behind the wheel in my truck. So
some women resist. And I said, you know what? I've talked to women in their PJs, sick. And if we can't get past that as women, no, then when are we going to learn to be liberated and just relax and let our hair down and just talk it out and let the tears flow? We need that.
We do. We do.
Need someone to be that safe with and just relax. I'm not going to judge.
Well,
you don't need
that's true. She did not laugh at me. And she didn't say, oh my God, you look like a guy.
No, you're also precious. And the first thing we work on is that, what are you saying to yourself when you talk in the mirror? Are you able to look at yourself in the mirror without criticizing yourself, completely naked? And women learn a lot just from that one session.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of work to do as women. And I want to make women feel as beautiful as they really are.
Yeah. And you come across, you're a beautiful woman yourself, and you come across with that energy. So I am super excited to see what comes for you in your future with all your new endeavors. Her books, you have to check out her books, her radio show coming up. Check out her website and the life coaching. I mean, we all need help. So I think that coaching, you know, we didn't come with manuals. My mom used to say, y'all didn't come with manuals. And it's true. But now we have opportunities where good people like Shannon are reaching out and saying, you know what, let me coach you. Let me help you with the things that I've already been through in my life. Let me show you how you can get from point A to point B. And I think that's awesome. Thank you.
You're very welcome. There's one great exercise. Can I give you guys all a tool?
Yes, please do. I was going to ask you if you had one thing that you could say. So here we go.
Here's the freebie, everybody. I want you to get a picture, all of you, of when you were a little girl. Find one. And if you don't have any, I know we had a fire and a lot of ours got burned. So there isn't one, but I want you to draw of what you thought you looked like when you were a little girl. And I want you to tape her up on the mirror in your bathroom. Or if you're really gung-ho about healing, put one over your bed on the ceiling, put one at work, put one in, above your desk, and even make a screensaver on your computer and on your phone. And I want you to think of your conversations that you have with yourself. So the things like, for instance, if you ate a meal and you finish it and you enjoyed it, but then later on you look in the mirror and you think your tummy's bloated, I shouldn't have eaten that. Or you always fail. You say you're going to diet and then you eat this. And you kick yourself, basically mentally and emotionally. I want you to look at your little girl and I want you to start a journal and mark how many times you've criticized that little girl. I do, by the way, all of my coaching is faith-based. Christ-based. So, if I have to be able to think of you as a daughter of God, because that's how I work and that's where I go. But we're not living here forever. And if I can't show you how beautiful you are and how much you're loved, the person in your head, that light that's supposed to be living there, God's love in your heart and in your mind, you need to start your day with words of love that come straight out of your heart into looking at yourself into your own eyes with love. If you can't treat her with love, you need to get rid of that best friend or that enemy in your head. That's got to be the worst. There's no one that talks or criticizes worse than that person right there. We get upset with people that don't treat us nice. Think about that and start with that. That's the first assignment.
Oh my gosh. That was huge, actually. Ladies, when you think about them, you think about what she just said. Our self-talk. And I actually had Thursday. I did on every Thursday I do a Facebook Live for Toxic Thursday, and usually it's been about products or food or chemicals and things that we're not really paying attention to. But this past Thursday I did it on mental health and what we're saying to ourselves, the thoughts and the criticisms and those type of things. So that's awesome that you just brought that up, because it goes hand in hand with exactly what I just said.
It's really, I have pictures. I actually frame them in gem type frames, and I make her real special. I've done this a long time ago, and I actually have handouts with every assignment, so you can build a notebook as we go along. And I've got the One Wildflower t-shirts, but I also have a special thing where if you get 4 people together, you get 50% off on each person, and you get the 2-hour session. So it's 2 hours and everybody's together. So if you have 4 friends, you get to all work together and hold each other accountable.
Oh, that's awesome. What an awesome idea.
Yeah, well, women, we're always doing things together.
Yeah.
Right? You guys can all together and just hold each other accountable.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Breaking habits, for instance, here's a great one to break. Gossip.
Yes.
Right? If you have 4 women saying, we're not going to gossip, that is a great thing to do together as a group.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yeah.
There's so many. I've never run out of content, let me just tell you. I grew up with 2 sisters, and I worked for Victoria's Secret for 20 years.
Oh my goodness, yes, that is awesome.
And the only people that contact me is women for breast cancer. Very rarely does a man contact me. My whole life has been women.
Oh my goodness.
I feel like Beyonce, run the world. Run the world. It's women. I'm always around women. And I'm not saying they run the world, but I feel like I've got women around me. Thank God I get along with them.
Yeah. Yes, that's very important. Yeah. If you got to hang with them, you need to get along.
That's right. I actually care about the way they feel about themselves. I want them to thrive. And by the way, I help with relationships. I have women that they just want to heal over someone that's been cheating on them. And I help them get through. I have a process. And I have clients that's all I'm helping them with. It's not cancer only. It's emotional. My next book is Unbreak Your Heart. How to heal your body by healing a broken heart. There are so much broken hearts. There's so many broken hearts.
Yeah.
It makes us sick. It makes us lose our appetite. It makes us throw up. It makes us lose sleep. It makes us overeat for comfort.
Yeah.
So how can we ignore our broken hearts? And those are the clients I like to help. You got a broken heart? Welcome to the Broken Hearts Club. Those are the ones that I want to help.
Well, thank you so much for your time, taking the time to come on here, and especially with your busy schedule. I love that you are reaching out and that you're helping and touching the lives of so many. And thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. The cancer, we touched a little bit, but just to, as we're closing here, I want people to know that when you had the 4th stage cancer and you ended up in the hospital in Mexico, the CMN, right? Mm-hmm. What they did there for you was more natural based than it was chemo and radiation.
I did no chemo ever. I did radiation in UCLA. I couldn't last because of all the coughing and the infection. So I only did 22 rounds, and then they said I got worse. And they gave up on me and gave me 3 to 12 months. And that's when we started raising money, and it took 5 months to get the money raised to go to Mexico. When I got to Mexico, there wasn't one toxic treatment there. I did bone marrow stem cell transplant, which is a value of $400,000. That was included. I mean, the whole 4 weeks is $39,000, and it includes it. But don't quote me on that because they could change their prices. I don't know. And the dendritic cell therapy, and you're in a hospital, and you get to bring someone, and everything's included.
That's awesome. That is awesome. That goes to show you what, as far as healthcare prices and stuff like that. I mean, if you would have got treatment here, it would have been so much more expensive, and they would not have offered you all of the natural stuff anyway. But just the
autologous bone marrow stem cell transplant has to be done in an operating room.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have 4 or 5 doctors, surgeon there, and you're under anesthesia. It's not a stem cell therapy or an injection. It's an OR procedure. To have that included at the end after they get you all prepped for it for 28 days, can you imagine? Just the transplant alone is $350,000 to $400,000 at a minimum in the United States.
Yeah. And that just goes to show you they can do it so much cheaper there than here. There's a problem with our healthcare system.
It's extortion, and it's taken advantage, and it's ridiculous.
It is.
I can't wait to have some change start taking place. I'm optimistic. I think change can take place.
I think, yes, we definitely need change, and I believe that it's coming, and it's going to come through people like you, myself, and others who are out there on this mission to wake up America and shake people up to say, we have got to have change.
I care more about health than women being able to walk around topless. I do. I care more about sheltered homeless than about some of these ridiculous things. And I think that a lot of the younger folks don't understand healthcare as much as what we really need for the elderly and people at my age group, and when cancer hits
right
at 30 and 40. And I think we really need better healthy care, not toxic care. And we need that added as a choice, not a replacement, as a choice. So if they want to integrate it, it needs to be there, and it needs to be covered.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it should be our choice, not the choice of some insurance company that doesn't know anything about healthcare anyway.
That's right.
Well,
I really appreciate, thank you, everything.
Thank you so much for being here with us today, Shannon. Thank you for all your insights, input, and I look forward to everything that you're going to be doing in your future, and following you and seeing where you go. I think you're getting ready to just explode.
Thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.